G'day viewers, well, I had a good mega score today. Yeah, I was originally told there was about 300 valves, but here I ended up with just over 1,000, I think, said. Wow. And this one, he used to work in the army, and he saw US Army stuff, 1944. This is all American military stuff. 6AG5, American military, all new old stock. Aussie ones and even American ones here. There's a Tokyo Shibora Japanese one, so some vibrators in there. That's a 5Y3 rectifier valve, I think. Yeah, it is too. Yeah, it's a 5Y3 rectifier valve. Mullard 5AS4 made in Australia. New old stock. This one here. Big ass rectifier valve. 5R4WGY. Ceramic Bakelite base. It's a nice big rectifier. Westinghouse one, 6AC7 Radiotron, a metal shell, not a metal shell here. CRC 6AC7. CV something 75 KBT. Yeah, looks like a triode or some sort of amplifier valve. I've got to go in the radio museum and just write back on the valve what's been smudged off so I can remember what they are. AWA valve, Radiotron made in Australia. Something GT, it's half rubbed off. GT means it's a smaller envelope size. G is this octal shape but smaller, and it doesn't have G, it's a big format, that octal shape. Vibrator. How a vibrator works is it's got like, it runs it off a battery, and there's like an oscillator coil that flicks a contact and it goes positive, negative, and drives a transformer to run the AC part of the valve radio of batteries. Basically an inverter, but back in those days a mechanical inverter. Think of it like that. I know what these are. You got to refresh, jog my memory on these, and I can write it on there. I think it's some sort of amplifier valve. The getters are all still good. GUC made in England. Definitely amplifier valves. Big ones in there. Both are two the same in there. I've got a lot of CB radios, a test monitor, a counter, which I could use in my tape decks. It'll count frequencies and the timing monitor and count tech. I'll use that for my tape decks to plug in and get the 440 Hz I need to get the calibration right, so to use on my phone. A lot of CB radios. This guy worked in the Malaysian army and everything, so he's got some reel-to-reel stuff taped off the Malaysian radio back in the 60s. He doesn't want to get rid of them just yet, but 6CM5, there's heaps of them here. A 6-volt vibrator. Mullard PL509 BVA made in Great Britain. Unfortunately, Britain's not great anymore. 6EM7 RCA Westinghouse, Canadian Westinghouse. It's Canadian, not American ones. 6AC7. I've got to clean all these valves up. 6AM6. AE4 GTA. There's that formatted glass envelope, that's what it's referring to. I've got to clean all these up now. Definitely clean all these up. I've got to look after these. They're being stored in a very dry place, so no moisture in these, so it's all good. 1B3 GT. 1B3 GT. That looks like a high voltage rectifier from a TV. 1 volt filament, that one. 6CM5. There's a valve in here for my TV that I'm fixing up to somewhere, he said. So 5Y3 GT, it's a rectifier valve, full bridge. That'll fit my AWA 527MA. 6AS4. 5AS4, I mean rectifier valve, it's in good condition. A bit of watermark there, but everything else is fine down here. There's no it's no damage or any air being getting in, so that's all fine, all good. There's just heaps of them. 6DQ6A. There's another couple, there's heaps in these boxes, there's just so many of them. So when I get a chance one day, I'm going to sort through all these, clean them up, and just catalogue them all. I shouldn't need to go on the Evatco anytime soon. Evatco, which is Australia's valve bank, electronic valve and tube company. They have pretty much 99% of all valves in the good old days that existed for old radios, TVs, oscilloscopes, pretty much anything. Anyway, I'll give you just a quick look through. More valves, Tokyo Shimura. Well, which is nowadays called Toshiba, 33GY7. Tokyo Shimura 33 volt filament. The little pip on the bottom. Many of you probably don't know that Toshiba actually stood for Tokyo Shimura. As of those of you who don't know. And that's how the name Toshiba was born. Bet some of you didn't know that. A magic eye tuning valve. Now these things always wore out and are hard to get. So, instead of a radio. Or a capacitor tester. I might see if I can, hopefully it's not too worn out, that one. That goes to that testing monitor. You can use it as a black and white monitor if you want. So, I'm going to use that. Good test monitor. I've got no markings on it at all. I'll have to find one if there's another one in that looks the same. I'll just have to go by look and someone can identify what a valve that is. But I'll do a detailed video on that another time. When I get the right data, I'll write it on there. 17BF11, 14BL11, 17 volt, 14 volt ones. That's what the numbers mean. Philips. Mini watt Philips valve, 6ES8. Mini watt was a Philips brand in Australia, made in Australia. PY88, $3.70. Trigon, London, England. 6EJ7. Old germanium transistors in there, I think they are. And early 60s transistors. 15BD11. Those transistors, I've got to test them. They might be whiskers up and shorted right now. $9 for 6AU4 GTA. All new old stock. Most of these are all new old stock. So there's a heap of them in here. More valves down there, Australian, English, Canadian, American. Sylvania, made in the USA. 12J8. 38HE7. That's a nice looking valve, isn't it? Yeah, radio, TV and amplifier valves. Some of these are from the military as well in the other box I showed earlier. 38HE7. PL36. More miniatures down there. There's so damn many of them. I've got to be very careful not to damage them and knock the pips off them. Now here I've got some 1R5s or 1T4s. They'll fit my little AM radio transmitter I bought ages ago. Spare valves for that. Little amplifier and IF valve, battery radio valves. Full that dusty. 96D size the original battery. That box I mean. Yeah, I've got to just neaten all these up and just catalogue them all and look after these because as I said, most of these are new old stock. Like 90% are new old stock. When they're stored like this, the markings will be smudged off them, so I've got to be careful not to do that too much. So I want to preserve them with the markings on them. Radiotron, 6AQ5, that's an audio amplifier valve, miniature equivalent of the 6V6. All these have to be very well cleaned up. 6AL3, a TV valve, that's a one I've got that went to air my other TV, so I've got a spare one. High voltage rectifier valve that goes in the flyback. IF valve for radio. Yeah, I'm going to have to just take my time with them, I think. I've got to be very careful not to damage them. Because the miniature valves, they can easily get damaged. The pips get smashed off and that's it, they're all over. And this is only like chalk paint on here, I don't want to smudge that off too much. Be very careful with that. He doesn't have a valve tester. He always uses a substitute method to test all these, so 60Q6A, I think I showed that before. This is all the more military stuff that's all in here. One B3GT, a battery one. The US Navy 6AG5. As I said, this guy was in the Air Force and went to the Malaysian military, everything. We worked in the military, so got some good stuff. This will make a ham radio guy jizzes their pants. I almost bloody did. I almost got a bloody hard on. But yeah, this sort of stuff is up my alley too. So let's just say if I was a how do I put it? If I was a yeah, I could virtually worship these if I was a completely irreligious person. 6AL3 TV valve, another new one. USA 110E 119. US Army, look at that, US Navy. This stuff has been collecting since the 40s to the 60s. 6AG5, 1944. So yeah, that's very well look after those. It's got some National Panasonic speakers, the one with a ball dome in the middle. And those things are the speakers of all speakers, the speaker gods. Those things are expensive and very collectible speakers. It's got some reel-to-reel tapes he taped back in Malaysia, back in the 60s, and there was in the Navy over there. He's got the Akai reel-to-reel machine, model before the, not a hi-fi model, but because it doesn't have the 15 IPS tape speed. 15 inches per second is like CD quality back in those days, which is phenomenal, but he uses that, so. But we're going to keep in touch definitely. There might be more stuff I'm going to get off him yet. This little test monitor, it's a Osaka made in Japan. Contrast, brightness, vertical, horizontal. Use it as a monitor for anything like a VCR or to see if something, whatever, is putting out a signal pretty much. Video and an output. Made in Japan, good stuff. I never bought this from the recycling centre, but it turns out the guy who gave me this was the guy that bought this. Good old Australian made equipment, this sort of stuff. IEC company, but I'm going to use that as my frequency reader for my tape deck and boombox cassette deck calibrations. None of all stuff here. This is all ham radio, it's just ordinary UHF radios. They're still pretty cool. SWR meter. Now that's going to be something I can use. It tells you how your field strength of how much you're receiving in your radios. Your signal, it's like a signal tester. Yeah, this is all handfest porn right here. UHF transceiver. Now it does have a big ass ham radio aerial, but I'm going to have to clean these up and just make do for now. I can't really do much because unless I have a license, I can't actually talk over it. I should talk to someone because I'll be in trouble. I need to get a license to do this, but I can just listen, but not transmit anything at the moment. Apollo brand UHF transceiver. As far as I know, it might just be an ordinary UHF radio anyway. Not or CB. They're all CB. They're not ham radio or shortwave or anything like that anyway. So just a lot of parts basically. He's fixed a lot of these up over the years. But the valves are absolutely porn. He fixes up sewing machines nowadays. Anyway, nice, lovely collection. The valves are absolutely made my day. I thought I'd gone to heaven where all the Handfest guys go. Gee, this is absolutely porn to me. Let's go into a good home. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. Very interesting guy. He's worked in the Navy and worked in the military down in Malaysia back in the 60s and everything. So interesting guy to talk to. Definitely going to keep in touch. This is his entire stock of valves he had, so very appreciative. Appreciate it a lot. All this was just given to me, so it's kind of feel like like a Shango 66, Shango 066. He gets these sorts of scores too. It's just porn. So I'm gonna have to catalogue those valves in a filer cabinet or something somewhere safe, which I definitely will keep them somewhere safe. If I'm not going to use them for the next 10 years, I'll just chuck them in a shipping container, pack them carefully, they'll be safe. So they're good. They come to a good home. As with my TV as well, my radios, that gives me more confidence now. I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for more old valve gear. If I find something that's missing valves, at least I'm likely to have all the replacements. 6BU8. I'm pretty sure there's one of those in there too. I'll do a substitution method on that, or one of the valves in there. We'll see how that VV8 sort of change it. So definitely look for a substitution method valve change for that TV to get the thing working properly. There might be, he reckons there's definitely some 6BU8s in here somewhere anyway. Made in England. Yeah. Haven't got any time. When I get some time, I'll have to just catalogue them all. But damn, like a kid in a candy shop. This is just pornographic stuff. Pornographic, definitely. Getting the hard on just looking at it. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching.